My girlfriend faked being pregnant to keep me from breaking up with her. So I faked a proposal and left her at the altar. Now my revenge is complete. It all started about 6 months ago. My girlfriend and I had been together for 2 years, but things had been rocky for the past few months. We were arguing more frequently, and I was starting to feel like we were growing apart. I had been considering ending the relationship, but I was struggling to find the right moment. One night, after a particularly heated argument, I finally worked up the courage to have the talk. I sat her down and gently explained that I thought we should go our separate ways. Her reaction wasn't what I expected. Instead of anger or sadness, she looked at me with wide eyes and said, "But I'm pregnant." I was stunned. We had always been careful, but I knew accidents could happen. My mind raced with thoughts of responsibility and commitment. All thoughts of breaking up vanished as I tried to process this new information. Over the next few weeks, I threw myself into preparing for fatherhood. I read books, researched cribs, and even started looking at larger apartments. My girlfriend seemed oddly calm about the whole situation, but I chalked it up to her being in shock. It wasn't until about a month later that I started to notice some inconsistencies. She never seemed to have any morning sickness, and her eating habits hadn't changed at all. When I suggested we schedule a doctor's appointment, she always had an excuse to postpone it. My suspicions grew, but I didn't want to accuse her of lying about something so serious. I decided to do some digging. I checked her browser history when she left her laptop open one day and found searches for how to fake a pregnancy test and silicone fake baby bumps. I was devastated. The woman I had trusted had lied to me about something so fundamental, all to keep me from leaving. I felt betrayed, angry, and honestly, a little impressed by the lengths she had gone to. That's when I decided to turn the tables. I spent the next 2 months playing the role of the excited father-to-be. I even went as far as to tell my family and close friends about the pregnancy, knowing I could explain the truth to them later. All the while, I was planning my exit strategy. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of keeping up the charade, I decided it was time for the grand finale. I planned an elaborate proposal, complete with rose petals, candles, and her favorite music. I invited both of our families to a fancy restaurant, telling them I was going to propose. The night of the proposal, everything went according to plan. I got down on one knee, pulled out the ring, a cheap cubic zirconia I bought online, and asked her to marry me. She said yes, tears in her eyes, probably thinking she had won. Little did she know, I had packed my bags that morning and booked a one-way ticket to another city. As our families cheered and congratulated us, I excused myself to use the restroom. Instead, I walked out of the restaurant, got into my pre-packed car, and drove away. I left a letter with my best friend to give to her, explaining that I knew about her lie and that this was my way of showing her how it felt to be deceived. I also left a note for our families, apologizing for the scene and promising to explain everything later. It's been a week since that night. I'm settled in a new city, starting fresh. I've blocked her number and social media accounts. My family, after the initial shock, understood my actions once I explained the full story. I know what I did was extreme and perhaps not the most mature way to handle the situation. But after months of being manipulated and lied to, I felt it was the only way to regain control of my life and show her the consequences of her actions. Looking back, I realized we both made mistakes. I should have been more direct about my feelings earlier in the relationship, and she should have never resorted to such a massive lie. It's a hard lesson learned for both of us. To anyone reading this who might be in a similar situation, honesty is always the best policy. No relationship can survive on lies, no matter how well-intentioned they might seem at the time. As for me, I'm taking some time to focus on myself and heal from this experience. Trust is a fragile thing, and it'll take time before I'm ready to open myself up to another relationship. But I'm hopeful for the future and grateful for the lesson this experience has taught me about the importance of honesty and communication in relationships. Update 1. It's been about a month since my last post, and a lot has happened. I thought I'd give you all an update on the situation. First off, I want to thank everyone for their support and advice. It's been incredibly helpful during this difficult time. As expected, there was a lot of fallout from my actions. My ex tried to contact me numerous times through mutual friends and family members. I maintained my distance and asked others to respect my decision not to communicate with her directly. About 2 weeks after I left, she finally admitted to her lie. She confessed to our families and close friends that she had faked the pregnancy. As you can imagine, everyone was shocked and disappointed. My family, who were initially upset with me for the public spectacle, now fully support my decision. They've been my rock through all of this, and I'm incredibly grateful for their understanding. I've received mixed reactions from friends. Some think I went too far with the fake proposal, while others believe it was justified given the circumstances. I've had a lot of time to reflect, and while I don't regret my decision, I do wish I had handled some aspects differently. As for my ex, I heard through the grapevine that she started seeing a therapist to work through her issues. I genuinely hope she gets the help she needs. What she did was wrong, but I recognize that it likely came from a place of deep insecurity and fear. On my end, I'm slowly adjusting to my new life. The new job is going well, and I'm starting to make friends in my new city. I've also started therapy to process everything that happened and to work on myself. One unexpected outcome of this whole ordeal is that it's brought me closer to my siblings. They've been checking in on me regularly and even came to visit me in my new city. It's been a silver lining in an otherwise dark cloud. I've learned a lot about myself through this experience. I've realized the importance of setting clear boundaries and communicating openly in relationships. I'm also working on trusting my instincts more and not ignoring red flags. To those who suggested I should have confronted her directly about the lie instead of retaliating, you're probably right. In the heat of the moment, I was hurt and angry, and I lashed out in a way that, while satisfying at the time, probably wasn't the healthiest response. Moving forward, I'm focusing on healing and personal growth. I'm not ready to jump into another relationship anytime soon, but I'm optimistic about the future. This experience, as painful as it was, has taught me valuable lessons about love, trust, and self-respect. Thank you all again for your support. It means more than you know. Update 2. Hey everyone. It's been about 6 months since my original post, and I felt it was time for another update. Life has settled into a new normal for me. I'm fully adjusted to my new city and job, and I've made some great friends. The therapy I mentioned in my last update has been incredibly helpful. It's given me tools to process what happened and to work on my own issues. I've had some time to reflect on everything, and I've come to some realizations. While I still believe my ex's actions were inexcusable, I've also recognized my part in the breakdown of our relationship. I should have been more open about my feelings and concerns earlier on. It's a lesson I'm carrying forward into my future relationships. Speaking of relationships, I've started dating again, casually. It's been both exciting and terrifying. I find myself being much more cautious and upfront about my expectations, which I think is a positive change. As for my ex, I finally broke my silence and responded to an email she sent a few months ago. It wasn't an easy decision, but I felt it was necessary for closure. Her email was a long apology, explaining her actions and the therapy she's been undergoing. I replied, accepting her apology but making it clear that we could never rekindle our relationship. It was a difficult conversation, but I think it was healing for both of us. My family has been incredibly supportive throughout this whole ordeal. They've respected my need for space while also being there when I needed them. I can't express how grateful I am for their love and understanding. One unexpected positive that came out of this situation is a renewed focus on my personal goals. I've started taking classes towards a degree I've always wanted to pursue, but never had the courage to start. It's challenging balancing work and study, but it feels good to be working towards something I'm passionate about. I've also been volunteering at a local youth center, mentoring teens. It's been a rewarding experience and has helped me gain perspective on my own problems. To those who might be going through something similar, I want to say this. It gets better. It might not feel like it now, but time really does heal. Focus on yourself, surround yourself with supportive people, and don't be afraid to seek professional help if you need it. Thank you all again for your support and advice throughout this journey. Your words have meant more to me than you know. Here's to moving forward into better, more honest relationships in the future.